What's up guys? I'm coming here today with a bit of a different type of video, and it's kind of just a fully transparent look at a year and a couple months ago how my social media marketing agency was on a crash course, pretty much headed to zero, and how I managed to fully reverse that and bring my cash collected last month to over $100,000, in fact just around $120,000. And I don't want this to come across as like a sob story. It's more just a completely honest and transparent look at what I was doing wrong at the time, how I managed to fully reverse that, and kind of the steps I've taken to make sure that that never happens again. So without further ado, let's get into it and be prepared for me to break down some of the most personal parts of my business life. So before I really dive in, I want to give a little bit of context about just what was happening at the time. So keep in mind this takes place in about October of 2023, a year and 3 or 4 months ago. And at the time, I was kind of in this middle ground transitioning from different marketing services and had almost lost my sense of direction as far as what I was doing and what I was offering and what I was basically using my brand to sell. And I think that was the biggest thing that was kind of creating this impending downfall as far as just what I was doing and my source of income and everything. And I'm one of those people, if I start seeing something that's not going well, I freak out. I get super stressed. I won't be able to do anything else in the meantime. I need to just lock in. I need to work 24/7 until I find a solution, because I'm a solutions guy, but I'm also a lot of an overthinker. So for people who don't know me, I did celebrity giveaways on Instagram. I had a bunch of different marketing services that I was offering at a high scale. And in 2022 and 2023, those markets slowly began to saturate and kind of become more of a closed market to where I wasn't able to capitalize as much as I had before. So realistically, over time, I'm seeing my income slowly kind of falling a little bit piece by piece. Yeah, I mean, in 2021, I had months where I was doing $250,000, $300,000 a month. So to go from that to then making $60,000 a month, $50,000 a month, and at points probably down to $10,000 to $20,000 a month in 2022 and then into 2023. And at the time I wasn't really freaking out, because it was more of just me thinking that it was a slow season or that there was something that I needed to improve on just to kind of get things rolling again. But eventually, when I stopped doing the giveaways or started doing less of the giveaways and my marketing services were slowly diminishing, I became more of just a hustler type of guy. I was trying to do anything as far as short-term hustling, just finding little services I could sell here and there and not really building anything sustainable. And that's honestly where things started to kind of take that turn mentally for me, because I realized that that wasn't the way that I wanted to do things. It was freaking me out, because I was if I just do this hustling stuff, how sustainable is this long term? Is there any longevity to it? Or am I just kind of picking at scraps until what I'm doing disappears completely? And so that kind of gives some context walking into October of 2023 as to the headspace I was in, kind of how I was feeling, and just how uncertain I was about what was happening with my career. And keep in mind, I'm fully committed to this. I never went to college. I decided when I was 18 that I wasn't going to go to college, that I was going to pursue this full time, and I really left myself with no plan B. So now that you kind of have some understanding and context of where I was, let me get into what I did and how I completely reversed this, because I really did find a way to 180 this in the best way possible. And to admire this beautiful view out here. I love my balcony. If any of you guys watch me on TikTok, you know that I am always out here on my balcony. I'm always out here sitting around catching sun, and yeah, it's just my favorite place. But so basically, to continue, now we're in October of 2023. Through my head, I'm kind of a little bit in this frantic state where I'm oh my God, what's next? What do I do? What am I gonna do to get out of this situation? I'm not cash poor at this point in time, but I'm definitely seeing the effects of a lower cash flow. And that's when I freak out. So at the time, I'm living in Tampa. I stay in my room for, I kid you not, probably 16 hours a day, straight working. All I'm doing is just trying to find the next marketing thing. What's gonna hit next? What's gonna be that next big thing that allows me to basically just build something sustainable and long term? And at this point, I'm realizing that I don't like this hustling thing. I want to build something that actually has some long-term value to it. I want to build infrastructure behind what I'm doing, because infrastructure and the backbone of your marketing is really what makes your success long-term. So, as someone who is just kind of trying to find the next thing, I stumble across what happens to be this little gold mine, and that is just basically automating and repurposing content for creators who already produce a lot of content. So to kind of give some context as to what this is and what this entails, for the most part, I work with models at the moment. I do strictly marketing for models. I don't manage any. And I do this as well for entrepreneurs, businesses, and other types of content creators. But models are the most easily explainable one. Basically what I do is I'll work with a model who has a ton of TikTok or Instagram Reels style content, and I'll basically reuse that exact same content and we blast it across 10 different Instagram accounts, 10 different TikTok accounts, 10 Twitter accounts, 10 Threads accounts. So we're blasting this all over social media on different iPhones, on different SIM cards, on different proxies, and we're basically making it so this content is undetectable as duplicate content, and it has the ability to go viral over and over and over again. And granted, there's a lot of other people out here that are doing similar types of things, but a lot of these people don't exactly know how to fully harness these marketing methods. And it's kind of that lack of awareness on their end that enables my systems to be more successful, my systems to convert better, my systems to be more profitable. And in the case of people like the models or entrepreneurs who have some type of coaching or course offer or something that they're pushing, this enables me to directly be their funnel for that. I can create all these different accounts and basically drive traffic directly to whatever they're pushing. In the case of the models, it's obviously a lot of them, their OF link. In the case of the entrepreneurs, it's their coaching or course offer. In the case of businesses, it's their product. So I basically act as this intermediate marketing source, and I'm able to fully blast their content all over the place, and it basically limits them not to just one social media account, but expands that reach to a ton of different accounts. And if that content is high quality and performs well, then it just enables it to go viral over and over again. And I expanded what I was doing as well beyond just automating the content repurposing itself to also helping out with content creation, because I realized that that happens to be a little pocket in the space as well that people struggle with. And through my team, I was able to create basically a separate division that entirely handles content creation. So we walk people through A to Z on how to create and almost just copy other creators who are doing super well with their content. Because at the end of the day, if you know social media and you know content creation, you know that the best way to go viral is just to copy other people who go viral. Basically, when I was first starting out doing this whole new business venture of repurposing and mass spreading content across social media, it was a little bit of starting from ground zero. Even though I already had my social presence and my big social media accounts, it was a lot of finding a whole new audience that I was going to be targeting and selling this stuff to. And it honestly just was not easy. It required a lot of cold outreach, and that's one of those things that you realize will always be a thing. These days I get a lot of inbound reach just because I have the platforms that I have and I've built the audiences that I have. And sorry about the lighting, guys, but we'll work on that. But yeah, anyways, so I basically built this whole network through outbound DMs where I was networking with models, I was networking with creators, and kind of anyone who I could see benefiting from my service. And I wasn't approaching them like everyone else does in the DMs. I wasn't like, hey, let me change your social media presence. No, I was just hitting them up and I was like, hey, like, it's nice to see that you're killing it on social media. Let's just chat when you have a chance and maybe we can do some work together. And this enabled me to build a crazy roster of models. At the peak of my automation marketing, we were sitting across platforms at a total of about 80 clients, which that's saying a lot, guys. And I know it might not seem like a ton, but if you do the math, all these clients are on retainers. They're paying at least a couple thousand a month. So it's really good. And that enabled me to hit that 6-figure mark again monthly in net profit. And honestly, yeah, I think it was a little bit of luck that I really managed to find this pocket that happened to be so profitable at such a perfect time when I needed that. But at the same time, I think that I've always been the type of guy that goes out there and that finds a solution to whatever problem I'm facing. And at the time, I really just wanted to build something sustainable that was going to work long term for me. And to this day, that still happens to be my main source of income. At the moment, my organic marketing agency is where I make probably 70-80% of my income from, and it just happens to be that more kind of safety net based income than anything else. And I'm so grateful that I put in the time and effort to build that out and didn't just try to keep quick hustling and just doing these social media services that were gonna make me a couple $1,000s here and there just to kind of get by. Because at the end of the day, I realized I never want to be that guy that just tries to get by. I want to be someone who builds something sustainable. And I'm so blessed to say that I'm in the position I am right now. I obviously, if you guys know me, if you've seen my social media, I have supercars. I live in a beautiful $7,000 a month apartment here in Miami. I'm a liquid millionaire, so I mean, I'm doing well enough to support myself these days. And yeah, I mean, it's a blessed life to be able to live, especially at my young, ripe age of 22. And obviously, like I said at the start of this video, this last month I did just under $120,000 in net profit. So obviously things are doing better now, and it's a lot easier to talk about something like this in hindsight when I'm not struggling from what I was struggling from at the time. But I hope a story like this is one of those things that inspires you guys to get out there and make money, because honestly, I know that this type of money and this type of career can be so life-changing for someone, and it's really not that hard to start. In fact, I dropped a free guide. If you click the link in my bio down below, or the link in my caption, sorry. If you click the link in my caption down below, I have a free guide just basically outlining how to build your own organic content creation and marketing agency for creators and just helping other people out with that. So yeah, if you want to build something like that on your own, it's really not rocket science. It's one of those things anyone can do, and I'd love to help some of you do it. So if you go check out the link below, put in your email, and it'll email you the free guide. And yeah, I'd love to connect with some of you guys. If you hit me up on social media, my Instagram is Skylar Parks. I am going to be posting here on YouTube more, and I look forward to just kind of spreading knowledge and spreading the wealth with you guys. See ya.